If your CSV looks perfect in a text editor but turns into a mess in Excel, you're not imagining it. Excel tries to be helpful by guessing your delimiters, your encoding, and even your data types. That guessing is exactly what breaks imports. One column becomes three, dates flip day and month, long IDs turn into scientific notation, and special characters show up as question marks. The fix is not clean the file more. The fix is to control the import, so Excel stops making silent decisions for you. Once you understand the three failure points, delimiter detection, text encoding, and automatic type conversion, you can make CSV imports boring and reliable. That matters if you work with exports from web apps, databases, payment systems, or any tool that calls everything a CSV. In the next few minutes, you'll get a practical checklist you can reuse, so your data lands in Excel exactly as intended. Next step. First, a quick mental model. A CSV file is just plain text. It has rows, and it has separators between fields. It does not have real columns until a program interprets it. It also doesn't store data types. A value like 001234 could be a code or a number with leading zeros. A value like 03/04/2026 could be March 4th or April 3rd. Excel has to choose. When you double-click a CSV, Excel uses a fast open path that applies defaults and guesses. Those defaults depend on your regional settings and Excel's heuristics. That's why the same file can import differently on two machines. So the goal is simple. Avoid the guessy open path and use an import path where you can specify delimiter, encoding, and column types. Once you do that, the CSV becomes predictable, and predictable is what you want when the file is part of a workflow. Next step. Let's start with delimiters, because this is the most visible failure. Many people assume CSV means comma separated. In practice, it might be commas, semicolons, tabs, or pipes. In many locales, the decimal separator is a comma, so exports often use semicolons to avoid ambiguity. Excel tries to detect the delimiter, but detection can fail when there are quoted fields, embedded commas, or inconsistent rows. The classic symptom is everything landing in a single column, or columns shifting after a row that contains a comma inside a description. The fix is to stop relying on detection. You want to explicitly choose the delimiter during import. Also, watch for a second separator. Thousands separators inside numbers can confuse things if the export format doesn't quote fields correctly. If you see misaligned columns, assume delimiter or quoting problems first, not corrupt data. Next step. Here's the practical delimiter checklist you can apply before you import. Open the CSV in a plain text editor and look at the first few lines. Do you see commas between fields, or semicolons, or tabs? If it's tabs, it may be a TSV, which Excel can still import cleanly when you tell it. Next, check whether text fields are wrapped in double quotes. Proper quoting is what allows commas inside a field without breaking the row. Then spot check a problem row, usually one with an address, a product name, or a notes field. If you see an unquoted comma inside text, that export is not CSV safe, and Excel can't magically fix it. You'll need to re-export with proper quoting or pre-clean the file with a script. Finally, keep an eye on trailing separators, because empty last columns can disappear if the parser is sloppy. Next step. Next up is encoding, which is why names like Jose or München turn into garbage characters. Encoding is the mapping between bytes in the file and the characters you expect to read. Modern systems use UTF-8 a lot, but not every CSV export is UTF-8, and not every Excel open path detects UTF-8 correctly. The most common symptoms are question marks, black diamonds with question marks, or letters turning into random symbols. Another clue is that everything looks fine in one program, but not in Excel. The fix is to import with an explicit file origin or encoding choice. If your source system can export UTF-8 with BOM, that often improves detection because the file includes a clear marker at the start. If you can't control the export, you can convert the file to UTF-8 using a text editor or a command line conversion tool. Next step. A quick way to reason about encoding without becoming an expert is to ask two questions. 1. What system produced the CSV? Databases, web apps, and APIs often output UTF-8. Older Windows tools may output Windows 1252 or similar. 2. What characters are failing? If only accents break, it's likely a single byte encoding mismatch. If many characters break, it may be a wrong Unicode interpretation. Your workflow goal is to standardize. Ideally, you store and exchange CSV as UTF-8, and you document that in the process. If you share files across teams, this matters even more, because one person's Excel settings can hide the issue until someone else opens it. When you import, choose the encoding rather than accepting a default. That one decision prevents hours of manual fixing, especially when you have thousands of rows and you need exact matching for names and addresses. Next step. Now the big one. Excel's automatic data type conversion. Excel looks at each column and decides, this is a number, this is a date, or this is text. That sounds helpful until it destroys meaning. Product codes lose leading zeros. Credit card-like numbers get rounded because Excel stores large numbers with limited precision. Long identifiers turn into scientific notation, and dates are the worst, because Excel may interpret them using your regional date format. A value like 01 to 02 2026 becomes ambiguous, and Excel picks one. The fix is to import with explicit column types. Anything that is an identifier should be imported as text, even if it looks numeric. Anything that is a date should be imported as a date, only if you are certain of the format. Otherwise, import as text and convert with a controlled method afterward. Next step, let's get specific about the numbers that aren't numbers category, because it catches people constantly. Postal codes, SKU codes, invoice numbers, account IDs, and phone numbers should almost always be text. You don't add them, you don't average them, you match them exactly. If Excel converts 000123 to 123, you've lost information. If Excel converts a 16-digit ID, it can silently change the last digits due to precision limits, and you may not notice until a join or lookup fails. The safest rule is, if the value is used for identity, import as text. If it's used for math, import as number. You can still format it later for readability, but the underlying stored value must remain correct. This one rule prevents a huge percentage of CSV-related mystery bugs in spreadsheets. Next step. Dates deserve their own strategy. CSV exports often use one of three patterns. ISO like 2026, 0506. Locale style like 0605 2026, or timestamp style like 2026 0506 1430. ISO is the least ambiguous, and Excel usually handles it better. Locale style is where things break, because Excel interprets based on your settings. If you can influence the export, ask for ISO 8601 dates and 24-hour times. If you can't, import the date column as text first, then convert it using a deliberate transformation, like splitting into year, month, and day, or using a parsing function that specifies the order. The key is that conversion should be a conscious step you can verify. Also watch for time zones. A timestamp from a system might be UTC, and Excel won't tell you that. Treat timestamps as data, not as just a date. Next step. So what import method should you use? The key idea is, don't open the CSV by double-clicking it. Instead, use an import workflow that lets you specify settings. In Excel, that typically means using the data import features where you can choose the delimiter, set the file origin, and define column data types. Even if you keep it simple, the moment you get a preview step with options, you're on the safer path. If you import the same kind of file repeatedly, consider saving the import steps so you can reuse them consistently. Consistency is what prevents "it worked last time" problems. Also, if you're collaborating, write down the import settings in a short note. That way, another person can reproduce your results on a different machine without guessing what you did. Next step. Sometimes the CSV itself is the problem, not Excel. Two common issues are inconsistent columns and broken quoting. Inconsistent columns mean some rows have extra separators or missing fields, often caused by line breaks inside text fields. Proper CSV allows line breaks inside quoted text, but not all exporters quote correctly, and not all importers handle it the same way. Broken quoting means a text field contains a double quote that wasn't escaped, which can shift the rest of the row. If you see a single row that throws everything off after it, suspect quoting. The practical fix is to go back to the source and export again with correct CSV settings, consistent delimiter, quote text fields, and escape quotes inside text. If you can't change the export, you may need a cleanup step using a scripting tool to normalize the file before Excel touches it. Next step. Let's talk about a repeatable safe import checklist you can run in under 2 minutes. First, identify the delimiter by inspecting the raw text. Second, confirm the encoding, ideally UTF-8, and convert if needed. Third, decide which columns must be text, IDs, codes, zip codes, phone numbers, and anything with leading zeros. Fourth, decide which columns can be numeric and which should stay as text until validated. Fifth, handle dates, prefer ISO, otherwise import as text and convert deliberately. Finally, after import, validate with a few spot checks. Pick one known ID, one known date, and one name with an accent, and confirm they match the source. This sounds basic, but it catches almost every silent failure, and once you do it a few times, it becomes muscle memory. Next step. If you need the result to be robust across different computers, add one more layer: standardization. Store a golden version of the CSV in UTF-8 with a documented delimiter and with ISO dates if possible. If the file is generated automatically, update the export settings so the format is stable. If you're receiving CSVs from outside, create a small intake process, convert encoding, normalize delimiters, and validate column counts before anyone opens it in Excel. This is especially important when the spreadsheet feeds reporting, billing, or inventory decisions. The goal is not perfection. The goal is to eliminate the silent changes Excel makes when it guesses. When you control delimiter, encoding, and types, you can trust that what you imported is what the system actually sent. Next step. Let's wrap it up with the core takeaway. Excel doesn't break CSVs randomly. It breaks them in predictable ways because it's trying to interpret plain text without enough context. Delimiters decide where columns start and end. Encoding decides which characters exist. Data types decide what values mean. If you lock those three things down during import, your CSV workflow becomes stable. You'll spend less time fixing columns, retyping IDs, and hunting for why a lookup stopped matching. And you'll be able to share the same file with someone else and get the same result. If you want one rule to remember, it's this: treat CSV as raw text until you have explicitly defined how it should be read. If this was useful, subscribe for more practical spreadsheet workflows, and leave a comment with your biggest CSV pain point, delimiter issues or date issues. Subscribe to keep optimizing your workflow and get back more of your time.